Alright, so I've got a few more things in for the supercharger build, and got the GlowShift gauges installed in the car. So I'll kind of run through what I had to do with that. I ain't going to do like detailed on that, because anywhere you go you can find it. Only trouble I had was finding my 12 volt headlight power. It was the biggest issue with that, but I'll show you that. But I did get the super damper in from ATI. Got hit. I'm going to get was it a T40 Torx Plus? I've got a bunch of Torx, but I don't have the Torx Plus, so I want to get the right one so I don't strip something out. But as far as the gauges go, I went with the GlowShift. So they take out the place of your bezel when you put these in, and you still get some air out around them for your vents. But I usually run on defrosting floor anyway, so it didn't really affect me a whole lot. But I tried them. You still get quite a bit of air out, and you got your side vents anyway. But so oil pressure, boost, and then fuel pressure is what I'm running. I probably should have opted to not do the boost and maybe done maybe a water temp or some type of a temp, because you can do the, what is it, forward scan and change it to where you can see your boost on your, actually over on your gauge. But anyway, these are the 10 color options from GlowShift. So they've got little jumper wires. You only have to wire in one main harness. I run my main power and ground from my battery. Picked up my 12 volt keyed over in the dash, or the fuse panel over here. It's fuse number 2, which is for your windows. Pretty much when your windows are active, that will let your gauges be on. So as long as the vehicle's started, we're good. And the one I had trouble with was you've got to find a 12 volt power source for when you turn your headlights on. If you want them to dim, they dim by 30%. I couldn't find anything under the dash, and I've looked at YouTube, looked at forums, looked at anywhere I put posts out. Everybody seems to think that I'm talking about the 12 volt keyed on power, because that's where they direct me to, but I'm looking for a 12 volt light switch keyed power. And here's where I got it. Right there. So on the purple and green wire going to your tail lights, that's your running lights. So whether you're in park, headlights, or anything of those modes, you have power there, so you'll be dimmed. I've just put one of the little inline splice deals in there. I mean, it shouldn't be pulling hardly any amps or anything, just to dim down the lights. That's a little bright, ain't it? But yeah, so I took a meter, found it, and then just run my wire up, run it through it. It's pretty easy to run. Only thing you have to take out is, if you take this kick plate out, which just pops up a few clips, you can reach the cable through and then push the cable through there and then bring it up over to your gauges. Like I said, for my hot ground, I did the hot. I brought it in here to the constant hot stud that's on your fuse box. You see it right there. And then just picked up the ground on this ground. And I brought it through the far wall. I don't have the sound tube no more, because I've done the cold air intake. So normally there's a sound tube that goes through your far wall right there, and you put a plug in place of it whenever you remove it. And I just ran all my wires through there. I ain't got stuff hooked up yet, just because the supercharger ain't on, so can't hook up. I did go ahead and hook up the oil sending unit. When you order the adapter from GlowShift, GlowShift tells you that it fits a 2011 up Coyote. That's a little misleading, because the Gen 3 is different than the Gen 1 and Gen 2s. And I think some of the F-150s prior to 18 is the same way. I'm not positive on that one, so don't take that to the bank. But on the Gen 3s, instead of using an MPT thread, there's actually an O-ring seal, so you have to have a different adapter. I ordered one from Lethal Performance. Was the best place I could find one, so went with that. But get in there, start it, get a little loud. That one's flashing because I don't have a sensor on it. These sensors are plugged in even though they're not into anything out there. That one I've already got on the supercharger on the fuel line. So I didn't have it plugging in to stop the flashing. So until they're hooked up, of course we're going to read 0 or flash. But the dimming I was talking about, that you had to get through where I got from the brake light, is just whenever you key on. Like I said, it ain't a lot of dimming, but they do dim. Will dim with the headlights. And where I got that off of that auxiliary fuse, I should have shut the door so not shake you around too bad. So if you pull that from that number 2 fuse that's in your kick panel, they'll just work like pretty much the rest of your interior lights. So whenever you're on, and whenever you turn off, you still have your accessory lights. So they'll still be on until you open your door or till you do the power timeout. So they'll stay on with all your other gauges. And then whenever you open your door, everything shuts off. That's it. Like I said, it wasn't that bad of an install. The worst part of it was probably getting all the wires into the back and behind the dash plate there where they go into the vents. It's quite a bit of wires to have in that area and get everything pushed in and clipped in. It's only a downside to GlowShift. GlowShift's, I guess it's a downside and a good side. All their stuff is plug in, so you've got ports that you plug all your sensors and all that into. That way you can do different options with them. But at the same time, they're little plugs and they're hard to get all of them plugged into and get into a tight spot like that. But that's where we are with that. Getting closer to being supercharged. Y'all have a good one.